You walk into a room and forget why. Your thoughts feel foggy. You're more tired than usual. But here's the scary part. It might not be stress or even age. It might be your brain slowly suffocating. Right now, millions of people are experiencing something that doctors often overlook: low oxygen to the brain. And it doesn't always come with chest pain or trouble breathing. Sometimes, the signs are quiet, subtle. So subtle you brush them off, until one day, they're impossible to ignore. But here's the good news. You can change it. You can reverse it. You can start getting more oxygen to your brain, naturally, starting today. So if you've been feeling mentally slower, emotionally drained, or just off, don't scroll past this video. Because this isn't just about feeling better. It's about protecting your mind, your memory, and your future. Let's begin. Your brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, but it uses over 20% of the oxygen you breathe. Let that sink in. Every thought, every memory, every emotion, they all depend on one thing: oxygen. Without enough oxygen, your brain can't function at full speed. Cells slow down. Neurotransmitters, the chemicals that help you think and feel, stop firing properly. And over time, parts of your brain literally begin to shrink. But here's the problem. You don't have to stop breathing to be oxygen deprived. You can walk, talk, even go for a checkup and still have low levels of oxygen reaching your brain, especially as you age. That's because circulation weakens, lung efficiency drops, and many people unknowingly develop habits that reduce airflow, like shallow chest breathing, poor posture, or even holding their breath during stress. Oxygen is like Wi-Fi for your brain. When the signal is strong, everything runs smoothly. When it's weak, things lag, crash, and disconnect. Most people blame brain fog on aging. They blame fatigue on poor sleep. But if your brain isn't getting enough oxygen, no supplement, no nap, no motivation can fix that. Most people think that if they were low on oxygen, they'd feel dizzy or have trouble breathing. But the brain plays by a different set of rules. When your brain doesn't get enough oxygen, the symptoms don't scream. They whisper. You may notice a constant mental fog, like your thoughts are moving through mud. Short-term memory slipping, names, appointments, even words. Fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep. Headaches that seem to come out of nowhere. Mood swings, irritability, or unexplained anxiety. Struggling to stay focused on simple tasks. Slower reaction time. A feeling of being disconnected, like you're watching life, not living it. And here's the trap. Most people chalk these up to stress, age, or just one of those days. So they ignore them until it gets worse. But these are red flags that your brain is working harder than it should, because it's not getting the oxygen it desperately needs. In some cases, long-term oxygen deprivation has even been linked to early cognitive decline, poor decision-making, reduced creativity, depression, and increased risk of dementia. But it doesn't have to reach that point, because once you recognize the sign, you can fix the cause before the damage becomes permanent. Imagine your brain as a city. Each thought is a light turning on. Each memory, a building powered by electricity. Oxygen, that's the power grid. Now imagine that grid starts to flicker. When your brain doesn't receive enough oxygen, entire systems begin to shut down. First, your memory. The hippocampus, your memory center, is one of the first areas affected by low oxygen. You may struggle to recall names, appointments, even what you were saying mid-sentence. It's not a character flaw. It's a fuel issue. Next, your mood. Low oxygen disrupts the balance of dopamine and serotonin, two chemicals critical to your happiness, confidence, and emotional balance. This leads to increased anxiety, irritability, even depression, especially in people over 50. Then, your energy. Oxygen is literally what creates energy in your cells. Without it, your body can't function efficiently. That's why you feel like you're dragging through the day, even after a full night's sleep. And finally, your focus. Tasks that were once easy now feel overwhelming. You lose track of conversations, get lost in your own thoughts, or can't stay with one task long enough to finish it. These symptoms are not random. They are biological warning signals. And the scary part? Even mild oxygen deprivation over time can accelerate brain aging and increase your risk for neurodegenerative diseases. But don't worry, you're not stuck. Most people assume that low brain oxygen only happens in extreme situations, like high altitudes, lung disease, or major medical emergencies. But the reality is far more common and far more subtle. Here are 6 everyday causes of low brain oxygen that often go unnoticed. 1. Shallow breathing. Many people, especially under stress, breathe from the chest instead of the diaphragm. This limits the amount of oxygen that enters your lungs and reaches your brain. Over time, it creates a constant state of low-grade oxygen deficiency. 2. Poor posture. Slouching or leaning forward compresses the lungs, reducing lung capacity. This makes it harder for your body to draw in full breath, and your brain pays the price. 3. Lack of physical activity. When you move, your blood circulates. When you sit too long, your circulation slows, and less oxygen reaches your brain. This is especially dangerous for people over 50 who are less active than they used to be. 4. Sleep apnea. This silent condition causes your breathing to stop repeatedly while you sleep, cutting off oxygen flow to the brain without you even knowing. It's linked to memory problems, mood disorders, and even dementia. 5. Poor air quality. If you're indoors all day without proper ventilation, or exposed to pollution, you're breathing in less oxygen-rich air and more toxins. This directly affects brain function. 6. Chronic stress. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes faster and shallower. You also produce more cortisol, a hormone that constricts blood vessels and restricts oxygen delivery to the brain. These causes build up slowly, but their effects are powerful. The good news: each of them has a fix. And in the next section, we'll start with the simplest and fastest one: correcting how you breathe. It only takes 3 minutes, and it can change your brain. Take a deep breath right now. Did your shoulders rise? Did your chest expand? If so, you're doing it wrong, and you're not alone. Most people, especially over 50, develop a habit of chest breathing, which means shallow, fast breaths from the top of the lungs. But here's the problem: that barely gets oxygen into your bloodstream, let alone your brain. As we age, posture declines, stress rises, movement decreases, and slowly, our bodies forget how to breathe the way we're designed to. From the belly, with the diaphragm. Diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing, pulls air deep into the lung, where oxygen is absorbed efficiently and sent directly to your brain. It slows the heart rate, it calms the nervous system, and it increases the amount of usable oxygen you take in by up to 30%. Shallow breathers often experience foggy thinking, fatigue after minimal effort, anxiety without clear reason, sleep disturbances, low motivation, poor memory. The fix is simple, and you can start right now. Sit up straight with your feet on the floor. Place one hand on your chest, the other on your belly. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Your belly should rise, not your chest. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this for 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes a day of this breathing reset can dramatically improve oxygen flow. And within days, you'll feel more alert, calm, and clear. You've heard the phrase, food is fuel. But what most people don't realize is that food doesn't just fuel your body. It fuels your brain's oxygen supply. Certain foods can increase blood flow, boost red blood cell production, and deliver vital nutrients that help your brain absorb and use oxygen more efficiently. Others, they clog the system, create inflammation, and restrict circulation, making your brain feel foggy, tired, and slow. Let's start with the oxygen-boosting foods you should be adding to your plate right now. White heavy checkmark leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, and Swiss chard are high in nitrates, which help widen blood vessels and improve circulation. White heavy checkmark beets, rich in nitrates. Beets are like a natural vasodilator for your brain. White heavy checkmark berries, blueberries and strawberries are packed with antioxidants that reduce inflammation and protect brain cells. White heavy checkmark fatty fish, salmon, sardines, and mackerel are loaded with omega-3s that enhance blood flow and brain cell flexibility. White heavy checkmark citrus fruits, oranges, lemons, and grapefruits provide vitamin C, which strengthens blood vessels and supports oxygen transport. White heavy checkmark nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds offer magnesium and healthy fats to support circulation. White heavy checkmark water. Dehydration thickens the blood and reduces oxygen delivery. Your brain needs water just as much as it needs food. Now here are the oxygen-blocking foods to watch out for. Prohibited refined sugars. They cause inflammation, spike insulin, and disrupt oxygen use in brain cells. Prohibited processed meats. loaded with preservatives that constrict blood vessels. Prohibited fried and fast food. These are high in trans fats, which reduce blood oxygen levels. Prohibited excess salt. Increases blood pressure and reduces the flexibility of arteries, limiting oxygen flow. This isn't about dieting. It's about delivering clean, powerful oxygen to the part of you that controls everything, your brain. Small swaps, like a beet smoothie instead of soda, salmon instead of processed meat, can make a massive difference in just a few weeks. And when you combine good food with proper breathing, that's a game changer. Let's get something clear. You don't need a medical degree or expensive supplements to get more oxygen to your brain. You just need a few smart daily habits that work with your body, not against it. Here are 6 science-backed habits that naturally boost oxygen to your brain, and you can start them today. 1. Get morning sunlight. Within the first hour of waking, step outside. Sunlight triggers your body to produce nitric oxide, which helps expand blood vessels and improves oxygen delivery. Even 10 minutes can boost mood and mental energy for hours. 2. Walk daily. A 20-minute walk increases circulation, promotes deeper breathing, and pushes fresh oxygen through your brain's vascular system. Bonus: walking outside adds the power of sunlight and clean air to the mix. 3. Sleep on your side. Studies show side sleeping, especially on the left, improves breathing and circulation to the brain while you sleep. It also helps your body clear out waste products linked to cognitive decline. 4. Open your windows. Indoor air can have lower oxygen and higher carbon dioxide than you realize. Opening windows for just 15 minutes a day refreshes the air and increases available oxygen. Add a few houseplants, and you've got a mini oxygen generator. 5. Laugh more. Yes, seriously, laughter expands the lungs, increases heart rate, and promotes full-body oxygenation. Plus, it lowers stress hormones that constrict blood flow. 6. Practice box breathing. This Navy SEAL technique calms the mind and oxygenates the brain. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds. Repeat for 2 to 5 minutes once or twice a day. You'll feel clearer, calmer, and more focused almost instantly. The beauty of these habits, they're simple, free, and powerful. And when done consistently, they can dramatically improve brain function, mood, and energy. You've been told that brain fog is normal, that forgetfulness is just part of getting older, that slowing down is inevitable. But what if it's not your age at all? What if it's just a lack of air? You see, aging doesn't steal your focus. Low oxygen does. Aging doesn't kill your motivation. Poor circulation does. Aging doesn't erase your memories. Chronic stress, shallow breathing, and indoor living do. We live in a world where we've traded deep breaths for tight deadline, natural light for screens, fresh air for recycled air conditioning. And your brain, the most oxygen-hungry organ in your body, is paying the price. But here's the most important part. You can take it back. You can retrain your breath. You can move your body daily, even gently. You can open your windows, eat oxygen-rich foods, and get outside. These are not small things. They're life-changing signals to your brain that say, I'm still here. I'm still strong. I still matter. Because it's not about being 65 or 75 or 85. It's about giving your brain what it needs: air, movement, nourishment, and connection. Every deep breath is a step toward clarity. Every walk is a message of vitality. Every bite of real food is an act of brain protection. So don't let another day go by feeling foggy, tired, or mentally checked out. Breathe deeper, move more, live sharper. Now that you understand how crucial oxygen is for your brain, it's time to turn knowledge into daily action. Here's your simple oxygen-boosting game plan. A no-nonsense daily routine designed for anyone over 50 who wants to feel clearer, faster, and more alive. Sun with face morning routine, 10 to 15 minutes. Step outside within the first 30 minutes of waking. Breathe in natural air and light. Do 2 minutes of deep belly breathing. Inhale through the nose, expand the belly, exhale slowly through the mouth. Stretch gently, neck rolls, shoulder rolls, a few toe touches. Movement gets blood and oxygen flowing. Green salad midday nutrition reset. Include at least 1 oxygen-rich food: spinach, beets, berries, or salmon. Hydrate. Dehydration chokes oxygen flow. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water daily. Avoid heavy processed lunches that weigh down digestion and steal blood from the brain. Person walking afternoon movement break. Walk for 10 to 20 minutes outdoors or indoors. Practice box breathing to refresh focus. Inhale, 4, hold, 4, exhale, 4, hold, 4. Repeat. Open windows. Let in fresh air. Get your brain what it craves. Crescent moon evening wind down. Dim lights 1 hour before bed. Your brain winds down when light exposure lowers. Journal or read. Skip screen time. Phones reduce oxygen to the visual cortex. Lie on your side when sleeping. Better for circulation and brain detox overnight. Brain weekly add-on goals. Try a new leafy green recipe. Commit to laughter. Call someone who lifts you up. Rearrange a room to allow better airflow and light. Practice mindfulness or gratitude before sleep. Stress relief equals better oxygenation. This is your blueprint, not for perfection, but for progress. Every breath, every walk, every choice is a deposit in your brain's oxygen bank. Start small. Start today. And keep going. If you've made it this far, your brain just received something more powerful than medicine. Awareness. Because now you know. The fog in your head, the tiredness in your bones, the frustration with your focus. It might not be aid. It might be oxygen. And the moment you realize that, you're no longer stuck. You're in control. You don't need expensive programs or pills to clear your mind. You need the basics done beautifully. Like movement, laughter, connection. Every deep breath is a choice. Every step is a signal to your brain. I'm still alive, and I want more. So here's your mission, simple but powerful. Today, choose one thing. Breathe intentionally. Go for a walk. Open a window. Eat real food. Call someone you love. Just start, because your mind isn't gone. It's waiting for you to bring it back to life. One breath, one habit, one moment at a time. If this message hit home, tap like so we can reach others feeling the same fog. Subscribe if you want more life-changing truths about your mind, body, and energy. And drop a comment below. What's one habit you're going to try today to get more oxygen to your brain? You never know. Your comment might inspire someone else to wake up, breathe deep, and start living clearer again.